All right, part 3 of the overall hydroelectric model series, and the second step of building the actual model involves the stator, which is the stationary part of our system that comprises the copper wire coils. So for this part, you're going to need a few more things than last time. You're going to need 4 bundles of copper wire. You're going to need a hot glue gun and some glue sticks. A pair of needle nose pliers is helpful. Some sandpaper. Doesn't have to be this large, just what I had. Multimeter, which should be included in your kits. And depending on the multimeter you got, this particular one just has the regular probes. And so you will want to get some alligator clip wires as well so that you can connect everything without having to hold it with 6 hands. So, first thing we're going to do is use our copper wires. When you look at your bundles of copper wires, don't pry them apart or mess with any of it because they are compressed and perfectly set up for their model. And the more you spread these apart, the less energy you're going to generate. So when we look at this, the copper wires are going to come out of this bundle in 2 locations. One strand is going to come from the side of the wire bundle. The other strand is either going to be coming out of the top or the bottom, depending on which way you have this oriented. At this point, it doesn't really matter. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our 4 copper wires and we're going to make a plus sign on our table in front of us. And I will show you what that looks like here up close. All right. So you're going to take your 4 copper wires and you're going to set them in front of you and make essentially a plus sign. One top, bottom, left, right. The ones that, for my point of view, are the top and the bottom. You're going to want to make sure that these wire strands are going away from the center of our plus. And the ones on the sides, we want the copper wires going in. The reason we do this is because we are generating alternate current. So we want to make sure everything is alternating. The other thing to note is that the 2 wire coils that are at the top and the bottom of my plus sign, one wire comes off from the side of the bundle and the other wire is coming out of the top. Looks like this. The 2 on my side, I still have one wire that comes off from the side, but the other 2 are coming from the bottom of the wire coil. Again, we want these alternating. So bottom, top, bottom, top. Once you make sure you have these set up in the correct orientation, then we are going to use the hot glue gun and attach these to our plastic container by putting hot glue on the electrical tape. All right. So now that I have my 4 copper wires oriented in the correct positions, I'm going to grab my plastic container. Again, I have the rod with a longer on one side than the other, and we're going to want to use the side of the plastic container that has the longer part of the rod, because this is where we're going to build our stator. So we're going to turn our container over, and the rod does make it a little bit difficult, which is why you do this in partners, so you can have one person holding things and one person putting it all together, but no matter. We're going to take our copper wires and we are going to hot glue them on here, and we want to put these fairly close to the hole that the rod is coming out of. I'd say, I don't know, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch gap or so in between. And then I'm just going to take a spot of hot glue and put it down here and attach this, and then I'll do that for all 4. So I have one here, here, and here. And just make sure you don't get any hot glue on these extra wires sticking out because you're going to need them to move them around. Once you get your coils hot glued on here, you'll notice again that I have wires coming down and away from the bottom and the top one, with the 2 middle coming in. The wires are made to be extremely long, so at this point we are going to trim them back a little bit so that they are roughly about 6 centimeters in length. And the instructions say we are only going to trim 6 of the 8 wires. So this top left wire coming from the first coil and the other wire coming from the left coil, we are going to leave these two alone for now because this is what we will use to attach our LED light bulbs. We want to make sure that the wires are long enough. The other 6 we're going to trim so that it's about 6 centimeters or so in length. It's roughly 2 inches. And then we're going to take our sandpaper and we're going to gently sand off the varnish that is on these wires to protect it. Alright, so again I'm going to take this wire from the top coil and this wire from the left coil, and I would recommend taking a piece of tape and just taping them up here out of our way. We will come back and deal with them later, but right now we want to make sure we don't mess with those. So then I'm going to take either a pair of cutters, or in this case I have a pair of needle pliers with a cutter, and I'm just going to trim off some of this excess wire on the other 6, say roughly 2 inches or so. Find the matching one from the next coil, go to about there. And after you get all of these trimmed, you're going to take your piece of sandpaper and you're just going to very gently rub this out last pieces. When they make these copper coils, they put a protective cover, as I was saying. You're just going to take your sandpaper and you want to remove this protective film that they put on top of the coil wire just to protect it from rusting. It may not show up on the video, but once you sand off that protective film, there is a definite color difference in the wire. When it has this film, it's kind of got a almost like a red hue to it. When it's just a bare copper, it's very shiny and just looks like a penny. So I'm going to take my sandpaper and I'm going to sand off the last little bit here on all 6 of those wires that I trimmed. Okay, now that we have those other 6 wires trimmed so that they're a fair bit shorter, and we've taken our sandpaper to remove that protective cover, we are going to attach all 4 of these copper wire coils together by twisting wires. Now in the directions, every wire is numbered with this one right here as wire number 1. And then it just goes clockwise. So wire 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wires 7 and 8 are these last 2 that we're going to leave alone still for now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take wire 1 and wire 2 here, and I am going to twist them together so that I can have a complete circuit and connect these 2 coils. And then I'm going to do the same thing I'm going to do the same thing for these 2 wires down here and these 2 wires here. Once you have your 3 twisted wires done, we are going to use our multimeter to check to make sure that you have sanded off enough of the varnish so that we have a complete circuit running from this wire here all the way through this till we get to this side over here. So you're going to take your multimeter, and if yours has the probes like mine, you're going to attach your alligator clip to each of the probes. If yours comes with alligator probes, then you can just go ahead and use those. And what we're going to do is we're going to take one of our clips and we're going to attach it to this first connection here. And then we're going to take our second one and put it on this down here in the bottom right corner, which would be wires 3 and 4. Now, on your multimeter, you'll have a bunch of different things that it can measure. In this case, we want to measure for continuity. We want to make sure that we have a complete circuit running from this wire all the way down here. So if you turn your multimeter, and the continuity on this particular one is a little circle with 3 like sound waves coming off of it. And so if this is connected, then it will make a sound, and it can be, because these are very small wires, it can be a little bit tricky to get it to actually make the sound. And I don't know if the audio is going to pick up this, but it is making the high-pitched beeping noise. So that means these connections are good. So I'm going to move this red one now to this other twisted section to make sure that this whole circuit is now good. If you do not hear a sound, then just undo your wire, sand it a little bit more, and twist it back together. And again, I may not be able to pick it up, but it is getting a sound on this one. So now that we know these all the way here are good, we are going to use those two other wires we haven't touched yet to make sure we have a complete circuit for the entire stator. So I'm going to take one wire and put it up here, and you're probably going to have to sand this end just to get it exposed copper. And we're going to put our clips in here, and if we have continuity from what we're calling wires 7 and 8, that means we have a complete circuit from this wire through the first coil, the second, the third, the fourth coil, and all the way back, which is what we want. So we'll take one clip, put it on there, the other one over here. And again, because this is such small gauge wire, it can be a little bit tricky to get the teeth to make a good connection and to get it to make a sound. But once you have a sound, then you know you're good. So, in this particular case, we have used our multimeter and we now have a solid connection running all the way through this. Because these are such small, fragile wires, it is not advised to just leave them twisted and hope that they will stay together, because they will come apart. So, if you want a quick, easy way of keeping these together, electrical tape works really well. Or if you have the materials, I would recommend using a soldering iron and soldering all three of these joints together can make it a permanent connection so they can't come apart. If you choose to do either of those, when you're done with them, you're going to take a dab of hot glue, and you're going to just put a dab of hot glue, such as like right here, use my pen, just to help keep these wires flat so that they're out of the way. Because anything that's sticking out from here is going to run into our rotor that we're going to build in the next step.